What if the deeper you descend into the ocean, the more evolution seems to lose its mind? Imagine traveling roughly 1.5 miles below the surface. With every meter, it becomes increasingly clear that the charming creatures of the shallows are far behind you. This is an entirely different world. Bodies stretch to impossible lengths. Eyes swell to grotesque sizes or disappear entirely. Extra appendages sprout in places where they have absolutely no business being. It feels as though evolution deliberately embedded some distorted genetic code into the biology of these once perfectly ordinary animals. And among all creatures, none have been more severely and horrifyingly transformed by this process than squids. Some turn completely transparent, others trade their suckers for sharp hooks. And the most dramatically altered among them becomes something truly unsettling. Why do these beings seem to get stranger the further down you go? And why are squids so susceptible to this creeping transformation? The Epipelagic zone. Before we descend into the darkness, we need to understand where these creatures begin. The vast majority of squids live where the light still reaches, where the ocean is bright and alive. Meet the reef squid. When I first saw footage of this creature, one thing stopped me cold. It looks almost too perfect to be real. It is small and colorful, its skin pulsing with shifting patterns, flashing messages to other squids like a living screen. This is the ordinary version of an animal that, in deeper water, becomes anything but. This is where the story begins. Not with horror, not with strangeness, but with a familiar creature swimming in familiar light. Beneath it, the ocean drops away into something else entirely. Scientists have barely scratched the surface of what lives here. Less than 5% of the deep ocean has been explored. The reef squid is only the first chapter. What comes next will stop you cold. The Twilight Zone. When you cross into the Twilight Zone, the rules begin to change. Squids start acquiring traits that feel like they belong in another world. Take the Firefly squid, which has developed bioluminescence, a soft glow more beautiful than frightening. Dr. Edith Witter, a leading expert on deep sea light, has spent decades documenting how animals use this glow to hunt, mate, and disappear. The Firefly squid uses it to vanish into the background. Light becomes a disguise. Then there are the glass squids. Now researchers at the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute have captured footage of these creatures drifting like fragments of crystal, their bodies almost entirely see-through. They are stranger than their shallow water cousins, but not yet unsettling. Then you go deeper. At the very bottom of the Twilight Zone lurks the Humboldt squid. This is the first creature that truly earns the word terrifying. It grows over 6 feet long and weighs up to 100 pounds. It was the first squid to develop hooks instead of suckers, hooks designed to tear flesh. But that is not what makes it infamous. Unlike any squid above it, the Humboldt hunts its own kind. Sailors gave them a fitting name, the Red Devils, from their deep red color and their unsettling habit of hunting in packs. Most squids hunt alone. Humboldt squids coordinate their attacks and have flashing signals across their skin to communicate mid-chase. They can reach speeds of 25 miles per hour, faster than any human could swim. Could they harm us? Yes, their hooks are dangerous, but they do not see humans as food. Their usual targets are smaller prey: shrimp, crabs, young squids. No human death has ever been linked to a Humboldt squid. So for now, we are safe. Yet the pattern is unmistakable. The deeper you go, the stranger the creatures become. And this is only the beginning. The Midnight Zone. Descend further into the Midnight Zone, and the squids found here have been reshaped by evolution into something truly disturbing. Meet Promicoteuthis, the squid that appears to have human teeth. I cannot imagine what natural process produced this, yet it exists somewhere in the darkness below. Despite its terrifying look, those are not actual teeth, but soft folds of flesh wrapped around its beak, which it still uses to slice tiny prey. Only one specimen has ever been caught, barely an inch long, partly because these depths are nearly impossible to reach, and partly because the species itself is extraordinarily rare. Perhaps that is a blessing. At the opposite end of the size range in this same zone lives the longest squid in the world, the giant squid, which stands as the most dramatic example of deep-sea gigantism. It can grow to an estimated 45 feet, though we have seen so few that no one knows its true limits. Its eyes are larger than dinner plates, the largest of any creature on Earth. Because of its immense size, it is genuinely dangerous. It is famous for its battles with sperm whales, which dive thousands of meters to hunt it. And it is thanks to these whales that we knew of its existence at all. Scars from its tentacles mark whale skin, and its beaks have been found inside whale stomachs. Most people believe the giant squid inspired the Kraken legends. Its body is built only for the deep, with a thick mantle of dense muscle, 2 tentacles lined with tooth-ringed suckers, and a powerful beak that can slice through prey. It has earned its fearsome reputation. Does it attack humans? Almost certainly not, mainly because no human has ever been where it lives. In its own environment, it is an ambush hunter, waiting motionless in the darkness for medium-sized fish, or, as has become common, other squids. Cannibalism is not unusual among deep-sea creatures. What explains such enormous size? Marine biologists point to the energy efficiency hypothesis. In cold, food-scarce waters, a larger body can store more nutrients and move across long distances with less relative energy cost than a smaller one. Another idea is that greater size allows an animal to travel farther in search of food, or mate in an otherwise empty environment. Whatever the reason for all its immense scale, the giant squid remains deeply unknown. We cannot say how many exist, how long they live, how they reproduce, or where they lay their eggs. That mystery is what makes them so fascinating. But even these are not the strangest squids. We have not yet reached the bottom. The Abyssal Zone. Beneath the Midnight Zone lies the Abyss, a stretch of endless darkness from 4,000 to 6,000 meters down. No light reaches here, the pressure is crushing. The temperature hovers just above freezing. Life moves in slow motion, and if it moves at all. There are no plants. Food comes only as marine snow, bits of dead things drifting from above. Only the most specialized creatures survive here. Deep sea worms, sea cucumbers, jellyfish, and squids. One of them is Asperoteuthis acanthoderma, a squid so thin and so long it can reach 15 feet. It drifts. That is all it seems to do. Its body is nearly gelatinous. We know almost nothing about it. At the deepest part of this zone lives the only squid heavier than the giant, the Colossal squid. The names blur together, I know, but this one is different. It belongs to the glass squid family, though it is not transparent. Where the giant squid is long and lean, the Colossal is shorter, around 35 feet, but far thicker and more massive. Its tentacles carry rotating hooks that twist into flesh. Its beak can split bone. One of the heaviest recorded weighed over 1,000 pounds. Its eyes measure about 11 inches across, and in some adults they may exceed even those of the giant. Who would win in a fight? The giant has reach and speed. The Colossal has weight and strength. In close quarters, it would likely overwhelm its rival. But they never meet. The giant hunts in the Midnight Zone. The Colossal stays in the Antarctic abyss. What they share is a common enemy, the sperm whale. These whales dive into total darkness to hunt them, surfacing with long circular scars, the marks of battle. Inside their stomachs, scientists find beaks, the only part of a squid that will not digest. The Hadal Zone. What waits below the abyss? The Hadal Zone, the deepest floor of the ocean. It begins around 6,000 meters down and drops to the Mariana Trench, nearly 11,000 meters beneath the waves. To understand that depth, imagine taking Mount Everest and sinking it into the trench. Its peak would still be more than a mile underwater. This place is made of trenches and troughs, dark and silent. Almost nothing lives here, only worms, microbes, and the most unsettling squid ever found. When I first saw footage of Magnapinna, the Bigfin squid, one thing stopped me cold. We have never caught one alive, never studied a full adult, and all we have are grainy images from deep sea cameras. It does not swim. It drifts. The ones we have seen measured around 20 feet, but those were juveniles, so we do not know how large it can grow. Why does it look this way? The answer is survival. Movement burns energy, and energy in the Hadal zone is more precious than gold. So the Bigfin does not chase. It waits and hangs motionless, drifting in the current. The strange bend in each arm allows it to control its tentacles without tangling them. Its colorless, see-through skin serves a purpose too, because if a predator uses light to hunt, the Bigfin reflects almost nothing back. This is our best guess, but we have no real proof. Terrifying does not mean dangerous. For all we know, this squid could be harmless. What makes it unsettling is how little we understand. It lives so deep that we know more about giant squids and we barely know them at all. If something like this exists down there, what else is hiding? The truth is that we have explored less than 5% of the deep ocean, so dozens of squid species may remain undiscovered, some possibly larger than anything we have found. Scientists suspect there may be bigger relatives of the Bigfin moving so slowly that submersibles pass right by them. Even the squids we know, the giant, the colossal, and the glass squids, were discovered by accident. We only learned of them through sperm whales, and sperm whales do not go deep enough to reach the Hadal zone. I find squids fascinating, but finding something creepier than this is not part of my plans.